Right now at noon, police identify the victim in a fatal accident at Sam's Club in Joplin. Plus, we've got ourselves a sunny and warm day across the 4 states, and these warm temperatures going to stick around. We'll take a look at your forecast coming up. And 2 area museums come together to host a Croatian heritage education event.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Joplin police have identified the woman who was struck and killed by an SUV in the Sam's Club parking lot on Saturday. This is KOAM News at Noon. I'm Chris Warner. Authorities say 69-year-old Connie Bennett of Columbus was walking into the store when she was hit by the SUV around 11:30 Saturday morning. According to JPD, the SUV was turning slowly into a parking aisle from the main drive in front of the store when Bennett was walking toward the store. Bennett was taken to the hospital but has since died from her injuries. Officials say the driver remained on scene and has cooperated with officers. And a restaurant in Carthage is damaged after a car drove into the building Sunday morning. It happened around 7:30. Authorities say the staff of La Tiendita, authentic Mexican restaurant and grocery, were trying to open the restaurant when the car came through, tossing tables and chairs. Police also say the driver was checking the business hours before attempting to leave and accidentally put their car in drive rather than reverse. Neither the driver nor anyone inside the restaurant was injured. Well, firearms deer season was last weekend, so hunters across Missouri made their final preparations. And of course, I wanted to say if you are hunting from a tree stand, you got to make sure that you have a plan to stay safe. Now, one guideline: don't load your gun until you're sitting in your stand. Even if the safety's engaged, it's best not to leave anything to chance. Your gun could fall or smack against a branch. It's also a good idea to inspect your tree stand to make sure everything is in good working order, and don't forget to strap yourself in once you're up in the tree.
If you're hunting from a tree stand, always wear a harness or a safety belt. Harness is probably better because it controls more of your body, but a harness or a safety belt. Average height of a tree stand is probably 15 to 20 feet. That doesn't sound like a lot, but if you fall, that could cause a lot of damage.
A firearms deer season runs through November 21st, and a mandatory sample collection is taking place in Jasper County and did so over the weekend. Firearm deer season, as we mentioned, just opened, and the Missouri Department of Conservation is conducting mandatory sample collections in search for chronic wasting disease in the state. Now, chronic wasting disease is a prion disease that affects deer, elk, and moose.
Basically, it makes them where they lose their function and they end up looking sickly. But you can actually have a deer that has the disease and is not actually showing symptoms. So that's why just looking at the deer, you can't tell. The only way that you can actually tell is if there's a harvested deer and we actually do sample the lymph nodes. And that's what we're doing here at the station today.
Jasper County is one of 39 counties in Missouri collecting mandatory samples. And we've got ourselves a warm day out there. Temperatures already starting to reach a bit above average, and we're only at the noon hour. Quick look outside from our camera on top of the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. Clear skies out there, and we've got clear blue skies from the MoDOT camera at 32nd and Range Line on this sunny and beautiful fall day. Yesterday started the day at 39, so our lows have been just about where they're supposed to be. It's our high temperatures that have been a bit above average, made it up to 67 yesterday, putting us 7 degrees above normal, and we're already 8 degrees above normal. Joplin, Pittsburgh, both sitting at 68. We got those clear skies out there. A few clouds here and there will be possible as we head into the afternoon hours. We'll see a few more later tonight. We got 70 in Chanute. We talked about this morning. Points out west, definitely going to get a bit warmer. 69 Neodesha Parsons, 68 Oswego Yates Center, 69 in Miami, Neosho, and 68 in Carthage. And of course, don't forget, now's the time, anytime is the right time to download the KOAM Skywatch weather app. It is free, and you can find it in your app store of choice. All you need to do is search for KOAM Skywatch weather. And as we've mentioned before, it's like having the entire Skywatch weather team right there in the palm of your hand. So talking about these warm temperatures, they're going to get warmer yet later this week, and we'll talk about that in your full forecast here in just a few more minutes. The McDonald County Historical Society held their annual membership meeting Sunday, along with a program about Vance Randolph and his Ozark superstitions. Known for his documentation of the native Ozark culture and folklore, Randolph's last manuscript had been forgotten for nearly 40 years, but has been rediscovered and released as a new book titled Mildred Quit Hollerin'.
A friend of mine about 12-15 years ago, he gave me an old copy of Vance Randolph's book titled Ozark Superstitions, and I never even heard of Vance Randolph at that time, and I started reading through it and reading it, and I just thought, man, this is fascinating.
Now, Saturday at 6:30, this past Saturday, the first 250 special editions of Randolph's Mildred Quit Hollerin' will be available at a book signing event, this coming Saturday, and this will be taking place at Wire Road Brewing Company in Battlefield, Missouri. Well, Miners Hall Museum yesterday hosted a Croatian heritage learning event. Presenter George Barbarek covered topics such as immigration, employment, music, and instruments. Miners Hall partnered with Kansas City's Strawberry Hill Museum to host this event as many Croatian immigrants settled in the Kansas City and four-state area.
We're going to talk a little bit about the styles of music, the traditions there in Croatia when they had their weddings, and all of their social events, and the type of music and dance and everything that took place in that environment. It was very colorful. It was very entertaining.
Barbarek says his main goal is to pass down the traditions and keep Croatian history alive. Well, everything seems to cost more, including a night at the movies. But the theater in Kingman, Kansas is changing up how they do business to make it more affordable for you. Cale Chapman was there ahead of showtime to speak with volunteer staff about what makes their theater different.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
The Kingman Historic Theater has been around for more than 100 years and continues to draw crowds. But this time with $3 tickets.
That's ridiculous.
I know.
And live concerts. The theater's general manager says the changes are new this year after a successful summer.
So we started with just 4 concerts and the response was amazing. People are just ringing, wanting to buy those concert tickets and coming, and we've actually selling out our concerts clear into next year.
Kingman Theater board member Angie Lampy says their low prices and special events don't just bring in swarms of locals, they get people from hours away.
It's great to get the phone call to say, hey, they're driving 3 hours to come get tickets. You know, what time are you guys opening so we can be here? It just makes you feel so good.
It's an effort that's helping keep this small town theater going.
Another thing that makes it special, almost all of its workers are volunteers who say they're doing it to bring their community together.
I love everything about it. I love giving back to the community, just to be a part of everybody every weekend. Working with people that you love and care about, I think it's a great feeling.
With some theaters closing nationwide, the workers here say they're glad to see this theater successful.
And we could not have dreamed that this was going to be the turnout when we started doing $3 movies and concerts and these special events. So yeah, it's just been amazing.
Well, next summer marks 104 years at the Kingman Historic Theater. To get more information about the theater, you can find them on Facebook, and they are working to get a dedicated website soon. And that's a look at today's top stories and weather here on the KOAM News at Noon. Up next, in the month-long war between Israel and Hamas, one focus is now on Gaza's largest hospital. We'll have the latest. And later, we're making best mashed potatoes ever in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. In the month-long war between Israel and Hamas, one focus is now on Gaza's largest hospital. Local officials say a humanitarian crisis is unfolding there, while Israel claims Hamas is using the civilians and staff members as human shields. A warning that some viewers may find the images of the situation in the hospital difficult to watch. Natalie Brand has the latest from Washington.
Conditions inside Gaza's largest hospital are said to be deteriorating by the hour, with patients and family members lining the halls waiting for assistance. In the maternity ward, staff members have put tin foil in the cribs to help keep babies warm. The Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry says 32 patients died over the weekend, including 3 newborn babies as a result of Israel's siege of the hospital.
Yesterday, the Director General of the World Health Organization declared that for the last 3 days, Al-Shifa has not received water and electricity and has stopped operating.
Israel says Hamas is using Al-Shifa Hospital as a command center, and medical personnel and patients are being used as human shields. Hamas and the doctors deny that. Israel's military says it tried to deliver 80 gallons of fuel for the hospital's electricity, but says Hamas stopped the pickup.
On the diplomatic front, the Biden administration says it remains actively engaged in negotiations for the release of roughly 240 hostages captured during the Hamas attacks.
The negotiations are delicate, they're high stakes.
The White House now confirms a 3-year-old American citizen is among the hostages. 2 U.S. officials say a sticking point in the talks is that Hamas has not produced a list of hostages it's holding. In an interview Sunday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu acknowledged there could be a deal in the works, but he gave no further details. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Parents of the 3-year-old American hostage were killed by Hamas. Well, still to come on the KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
We have the perfect way to make sure your holiday spread has the best mashed potatoes ever. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3.
But first, we've got ourselves a relatively decent day out there. We're going to take another look at your forecast when the KOAM News at noon returns. Welcome back to the KOAM News, at noon. Boy, I tell you, you just talk too much, and that's what happens. We've got ourselves an absolutely beautiful day out there, but our temperatures are already a little above normal with our average high about 60 degrees for this time of year, and we're already warmer than that. Taking a look at Skywatch Storm Tracker, really not much going on out there. Now later, we're going to see some clouds building in. We're actually going to go mostly cloudy as we head into the evening and overnight hours, and then we'll go partly cloudy for tomorrow. We'll talk about all that in just a moment, but otherwise, right now looking pretty good. Quick look outside, MoDOT camera, 32nd and range line. Nothing but blue skies out there and plentiful sunshine. Our camera on top of the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. You can see those blue skies out there. It looks amazing. It feels amazing considering that we are in November. And the KDOT camera on 69 just south of Pittsburgh, which is just right up over there. Also looking pretty good right now. And of course, our camera 7th and range line looks great. 68 in Joplin, a northeast breeze, light at about 7 miles an hour. So of course it feels like 68, but as you can see, it's looking great out there. Over on the Kansas side, Pittsburgh checking in at 68, so already 8 degrees above where we should be. East-northeast breeze right around 9 miles an hour, and you can see the winds on the backside of this kind of cycling through. Check out Chanute, though, already up to 70, 69 in the Otishe, Parsons, 68, Fort Scott, Yates Center, Sedan, Chatopa, 69, Miami, Neosho, and 68 in Carthage. A little cooler, Lamar, hanging out at 66 up there, but otherwise, again, we're already above average. Our highs, again, for most of us looking to top out in the upper 60s, but as we mentioned this morning, we're going to mention again a little further out west, could even reach the lower 70s today. With otherwise mostly sunny skies, maybe a stray cloud here or there. And we got that easterly breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Heading into the evening, temperatures, again, they're going to be a bit above average out there as we go into the low 40s, and we'll have those increasing clouds. And those increasing clouds, as they come in after sunset or near sunset, there won't be as much warm air for them to trap, but it'll be enough that we'll be on the order of about 8 degrees warmer than where we should be. The southeast breeze at about 5 to 10. Going partly cloudy tomorrow and just a pinch cooler, but still warmer than normal. Partly cloudy skies, highs right around the mid-60s out there. The south breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. So we go into our Wednesday, same thing, upper 60s. Thursday, a few more temperature readings right around the 70-degree mark. Looking to be a little cooler on Friday. Then we warm back up heading into the weekend. We've got some shower chances Sunday, and those will stick around into Monday, and that brings our temperatures down just a wee bit, but not much below average. As you know, our average about 60, so 59, not that far off. A little bit above average again on Tuesday, and then we'll start to fall a little bit below average as we head into our Wednesday next week. But between now and then, if you've got anything outdoors you need to take care of, well, this is absolutely the week to do it, because we definitely are going to have ourselves some absolutely gorgeous weather out there, so make sure you take advantage of it. I know we need rain. We're going to get some now. I know Sunday and Monday doesn't look all that spectacular, but we will get a little more rain as we head a little further into the fall and winter months out there. We've got to be patient. We've waited this long. we'll make it. We can make it just a little bit longer. Well, stick around. We are making the best mashed potatoes ever in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen right after this. Everybody knows Thanksgiving is coming up, even though some entities would have you believe that Christmas is like a week from today. But we still have Thanksgiving between here and there, and mashed potatoes are like a must-have. Well, Howard's going to show us how to make the best mashed potatoes ever in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
To me, after the turkey and gravy, the next most important thing at Thanksgiving dinner has to be the mashed potatoes. And although they're easy to make, we hear that many of you need a little help with the basics. So let me show you an easy, no-frill way to make them this year that won't let you down. We start by boiling some potatoes that we peeled and cut into chunks. I like russet potatoes because they cook up just right and aren't too starchy. After these cook for a bit in our fork tender, we drain them really well. Draining them well is the key here. Now I'll put them back on the stove to make sure all the water is gone. Then in the same pot or a bowl, we add some butter, milk, or buttermilk if you prefer, and a little salt and pepper. Now you can beat these until they're silky smooth, or if you like them a bit chunkier, simply beat them a bit less. Either way, when these simple but incredible potatoes hit the table, they're ready to get all sorts of oohs and ahs. A bit of gravy on top and all is good. To get the recipe for what we call our best mashed potatoes ever, simply visit our website. You'll be glad you did. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found the best ever way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Gosh, I do love mashed potatoes. Those look pretty good. Well, if you thought they looked great as well, you can head over to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Click on Mr. Food. We've got this recipe and a lot of others right there for you. Now, we're going to take a look at 4 state market prices. All right, so again, above average for the next few days to the tune of almost 10 degrees, maybe even 10 degrees or higher in some locations. Upper 60s, back to average Friday. Then we warm back up this weekend. We got some rain chances building in Sunday into Monday. So a lot to keep an eye on. Again, this week, if you got something you need to get done outdoors, go take care of it. And we've got a lot coming up on the KOAM News at 5, including this. Congress excuse me, my goodness, has until the end of the week to find a way to fund the government and avoid a shutdown. And House Republicans are negotiating a potential short-term plan that would keep the government running for at least the next few months. Plus, more than 90,000 deer were killed during this weekend's firearms season. Now local processors are busy harvesting the meat. And Joplin Public Library is adding to its outdoor classroom with a permanent story walk. Got those stories in a lot more tonight on the KOAM News at 5, and that's going to do it for the KOAM News at noon. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.